What's going on, everyone? So, we kind of talking about players on this roster and like where do they fit in? And a lot of people seem to like it. So let's keep going. Let's talk about Keldon Johnson. Where does Keldon Johnson fit with the Spurs? Because I think they're going to have to trade him at some point. He's making I think 19 million this year. Him in like that sixth man role has made sense the last few years, right? And he's a guy that can give you buckets and do things out there on the basketball court. But you kind of look at how this roster is shaped now. You look at the several guys that can slot in at the 3, slot in at the 2, right? And don't get me wrong, I like Keldon Johnson. When he's cooking, he's cooking. But he can be kind of inconsistent. Right? He can get a little tunnel vision at times, right? He's a guy that has the moments where, when he's on, you get out of his way, give him a basketball, let him go hoop. He's still young. He's 25 years old, right? But he's like 6'5", really more of a 2, but can slot in at the 3, right? Guy that can give you buckets. But you go through the roster. It's like, okay, De'Aaron Fox, right, is now going to have a full year with the team. On top of that, you're going to have Stephon Castle. You're going to have Devin Vassell. You're going to have Dylan Harper, right? So right there. And then Dylan Harper's probably going to be your sixth man. And if not him, then it's going to be, either Devin Vassell or a Stephon Castle. So now Keldon Johnson as like your sixth man doesn't even make sense. It's like just that bucket getter off the bench, because you're probably, like, if it's Dylan Harper, you're probably going to want to put the ball in Harper's hands and let him kind of go to work and develop and grow as a player. And then even off the bench, you got Julian Champagnie, who hopefully he can kind of continue to grow and take strides and knock down the 3 ball with consistency. Harrison Barnes, right? Carter Bryant, you're going to want to play at some point. You're going to want him to get some minutes and start to develop a little bit out there on the basketball court, right? And that's not counting any other moves and acquisitions. Now, some of those guys like Carter Bryant and a Harrison Barnes and stuff, even Julian Champagnie, because his size, could slot in and play the 4 if you wanted him to. So maybe you could free up some spots with Keldon Johnson. Like, I'm not saying Keldon Johnson is like useless on this team, right? I'm not saying he won't play a role to an extent. I just don't like the biggest need and argument for him was like, hey, he's a guy that can come off the bench and go give you, 20 on any given night. Hey, you look at his stats last year. He was just under 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists on 48% from the field. It's good. It's good efficiency, good stats for, like I said, a 6th, 7th guy coming off the bench, playing a role, slotting at the 2 or the 3. Right? So he's a guy that I do think still has a level of value. I just don't think he has the value he once did on a team like the Spurs, especially when you're trying to grow and develop guys. And at how long does Keldon Johnson going to be comfortable playing in that role? Like, are you really going to be able to give him the minutes and opportunity to the level in which you're going to need to give him in order to keep him happy and satisfied and also justify keeping him around? Probably not, right? Like, so you look at last year, he averaged 24 minutes per game, right? That was the fewest minutes by a large margin since his rookie season. His rookie season, he averaged 17.7 minutes. Then after that, it was 28.5, 32, almost 33, 30 minutes, and then it dropped to 24 minutes per game. So he already dropped production-wise. He already dropped as far as like minutes and role and rotation went. And that was before you added Carter Bryant and a Dylan Harper. I don't know where he really slots and fits in on this team to, again, justify him and his contract and not trading him. Now, that doesn't mean you just trade him just to trade him. That doesn't mean you just move off of him just to say you got off. Like, hey, like, we just need to get off him. Tyler said we got to get off. Like, it's nothing like that, right? Like, that's not what I'm trying to get at. But I'm just saying, like, unless he's okay with being that 15 to 20 minute a night guy, which I don't think he is going to be, and you're paying him to be more than that, right? If he was making $8 million a year, then sure. If you were paying him, random role player money, then sure. But you're not, right? You're paying him pretty substantial for a guy that's going to come in and play 15 minutes a night for you, right? He's making $17.5 million this year. He was making $19 million last year. That's what it was. So you're making $17.5 million this year and then $17.5 million next. Like, you're paying him top end player money is what you're paying him. You're paying him usually what guys get for being a starter on a team, right? Your 4th, 5th guy kind of money, or at worst, your 6th man. Right? A guy that's a bucket getter off the bench, be your 6th man. Keldon Johnson is being paid as the 6th man, but he's no longer going to be the 6th man. He can't be. You have too many guys. Unless you're going to go Fox, Castle, Harper, Vassell and Wemby in your starting five. But even then, that doesn't make sense because then you still have Carter Bryant, you still have Harrison Barnes, you still, like, no matter how you slice it, like, where does Keldon fit? So I just don't see him getting the opportunities and allowing him to be the player that is going to go out there and give you, 25 minutes a night and give you 13 to 20 points on any given night. I don't think that he's going to be able to fulfill that role to the level in which it justifies you keeping him around and paying him $17.5 million the next 2 years, right? So literally $35 million you're going to pay him over the next 2 years to be a average role player. Like, it's not the best use of your capital. De'Aaron Fox is about to get more money, right? He's about to get a new contract. Jeremy Sohan, you're going to have to figure out his finances. Wemby's right around the corner from a contract, right? Like, so you're going to end up paying Keldon Johnson all this money when you're going to have to start paying other guys. So it's just, it doesn't become justified. Now, before the new CBA and before all these aprons and stuff, then sure, it's like, it's no big deal. We'll just go into the tax. It's fine. You figure it out. When that trade comes along to move off Keldon Johnson, you make that trade and you move off Keldon Johnson, right? But we're in that new CBA. So, like, again, like, you need to be more conservative with your spending and how you approach this. And, you don't want to, you've seen teams buying guys out that never would have been bought out because they have no choice now. They have to buy them out now. They can't get off of, like, because no one's going to touch him because they're making too much money. So I just think you look at Keldon Johnson, he's a guy that is cheap enough and reasonable for it now and still young enough at 25. He'll be 26 going into the season next year to where you can maybe move off of him and get something in return, get something in value, even if it's just kind of like, even if it's like an expiring guy and you're getting some assets or whatever. I still don't hate the idea there, right? Because again, like, they could use kind of some, there's still several things that they could use production with. I really like another 6'10" guy that can slot in either forward spot, but go over the numbers real quick. So again, 77 games played, 24 minutes, 10 field goal attempts per game, which is the fewest since his rookie season. His second season, he did get 10.2, but he was 10 on the dot. 48.2% from the floor. He was only 31.8% from three-point range. He's a career 35% guy. That is the worst three-point shooting season of his career, was last year on 3.6 attempts. It was also the fewest attempts he's taken by a good margin since his second season in the league. So again, fewer attempts, fewer percentage drops. You see it all the time. 2-point percentage, 57.3% on 6.4 attempts. Now, that was the second highest of his career, so he's better from 2-point range. EFG of 53.8%, shot 77.3% from the free throw line, which that is down to. He's a career 76% guy. Rebounds, 4.5 rebounds, which again is the fewest since his rookie season, but also again his minutes have gone down. 1.5 assists, half a steal, half a block, and 12.7 points per game. So again, and that's down from the 15.7. I mean, 2 seasons ago, he was a 22 point a game guy, right? So it's just, he already was starting to slip further and further into the odd man out. Now I think he is. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.